I want to do a tour of my office. I call it an office. It's basically just a glorified toy room where I go and I play with my toys, but it is an office. I write every single episode of the show in this room that you're seeing right now. A lot of the meat and potatoes of the Dante Graves Show is conceived in this room. Okay, this is the room that makes it all happen. Sure, there's a lot of meetings and stuff that go on at like restaurants. I try to keep things super professional when discussing it with the actors and things like that, because even though they're my friends and they're doing this out of the kindness of their hearts, I want them to feel dignified, like I'm giving them the respect that an actual actor would get when pitching them this material. So I write it here, I print it off, I meet people, and I discuss it with them in person, and that's how that kind of happens. But I want to kind of tour this room because there's a lot of cool shit in this room. Not to suck my own dick, there's a lot of cool shit in this room. And I know that there is, so I want to show it to you. So let's take a tour. It's going to be kind of more of like a action figure tour. I'll focus on action figures first, and then we'll go into kind of just stuff I have up on the walls. We'll go into my desk setup, and you know, that kind of whole process there. So let's get to it, shall we? I'm holding an issue of Creeps Spooktacular. Great magazine. Here's the action figure shelves. I'll back up so you can kind of get like a wide angle of this. Now, this is not all the action figures I have. I'm a very avid collector, and I collect a lot of different kind of things, but this is kind of more of the stuff that I'm the most proud of, so I'm the most ready to kind of display. And this shelf is also in various states of disrepair. Things are missing from it, things get brought off of it, and it goes through a lot of changes. But I think right now it's about as tidy as it's ever gonna be, and so this would be the position that I'd like to show it in case you guys are interested in what kind of toys I have. So, start up here at the top shelf. This kind of area right here is my Universal Monsters section, sort of, but there's also kind of some other stuff thrown in there, like there's some Godzilla stuff, there is Count Chocula and Frankenberry, as well as these guys are the General Mills ones. I guess you can't really see them, but they're like Count Chocula and Frankenberry action figures. I'm normally an out-of-box collector, but those boxes were so cool that I just had to leave them in because they had like nutrition facts on the side of them. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, and then we got the Universal Monsters. There is the Benicio del Toro Diamond Select Wolfman right next to the Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman, as well as these Jada Toys ones. They put out great Universal Monster figures like this Dracula and that Gill Man. I even got some kind of obscure guys like Metaluna Mutant. There's some, take the strap off my neck. There's Mego Toys, Phantom of the Opera figures back there. I got the Mask of the Red Death Phantom and the normal Phantom. A Toonie Terrors, Nosferatu. Technically not a Universal Monster, but he's so kind of vintage with them that he goes right along with these guys. Like he just seems right at home with them. As well as these are the vampire and the Frankenstein monster here are actually from the Real Ghostbusters toy line, which I have the Real Ghostbusters in box here, and then a out-of-box Peter Venkman right there with those Ghostbusters and stuff. So, yeah. This Transformer, this is actually, it's spoilers, that's a Transformer. It's not actually a Ghostbusters car. I mean, it is a Ghostbusters car. But that's Ectotronimus from the Ghostbusters Transformer crossover. I don't know, he just kind of seemed to fit there, especially since there's already those guys right there. But yeah, Universal Monsters. I have everyone here except the Phantom, which sucks. And I do have the Fly. Again, I'm not sure if he's a Universal Monster. I have a Fly Mego doll, as well as a Gillman and Werewolf, and then there's Peter Cushing, which I have the Dracula, but I was just fucking selfish and I took him out of the box, which sucks. I regret it, because those toys aren't even fun outside the box. But I have a Peter Cushing Van Helsing. That's what I meant to say. Did I call him Dracula? Peter Cushing Van Helsing with the candlesticks. You can make a cross and everything. And there used to be a Dracula there, but the Christopher Lee Dracula, but I fucking opened it because I'm a dumbass. But yeah, that's kind of that section. Moving on. Also, there's a Funko Pop of Dracula. He kind of needs to go farther over there. This is a Ronin Boba Fett, which I still have the box for, roaming around somewhere. He's got a lot of accessories, but he's pretty cool. There's Rocky and Ivan Drago, a He-Man. There's a bunch of Predators back there. See, there's just a bunch of random shit. I got both versions of Pennywise. I have several. I think both of these guys also Yeah, I've got an in-box Tim Curry Pennywise and a in-box Bill Skarsgård Pennywise. I feel like I needed them both. We got Yami Yugi, SH Figure Arts, I think, or it was a Figma Yami Yugi. It's one of the two. Back to the Future, that's like my favorite trilogy of all time. We got Part 2 Marty with the hoverboard and the $20 Pepsi. We got Doc with the invisible tie. We got 1950s Doc. We got 1950s Biff, and we've got Part 1 Marty. I hope they make a Part 3 line, and I would really like to get that Griff Tannen that they just put out with the hoverboard and stuff. We got Mossman and He-Man. This used to be, this is like 3 boxes on top of each other, used to be like a shrine to, let me get you guys in focus here. Used to be like a shrine to Skeletor. And then kind of just gradually things got changed. So there is still 3 Skeletors here, but then some other Skeletors got moved around, put in other places. So now there's a Popeye, and then there is a Hero Factory, that's what it's called. That's kind of like the Bionicles replacement, which was a bummer, but we do have some actual authentic Bionicles, so we'll get to them next. Here's kind of these 4 shelves here are the kind of the ones I'm most proud of. This is all like kind of NECA stuff and horror movie stuff. You know, the stuff that really matters. Let me actually pull out some light, some excess light. Okay, so we got some extra lighting here to kind of make this a little bit better. We got Part 5 Jason. We got a Cinema of Fear, or no, that's McFarlane Toys, just generic Jason. We got Asylum Ash. We got a Henrietta back there. We got the Wishmaster. We got Herbert West, as well as, you can kind of see him. There's a good guy in there with a box, and on top of it is Harry Warden's heart box from My Bloody Valentine. Bro, I'm just nervous, and my arm hurts from holding this camera, and so I'm messing up a lot of these fucking names, which sucks, because then some asshole's gonna think I don't know what I'm talking about. I promise I know more about all of these characters and these action figures than anybody watching this. So don't fucking challenge me. I know his name is Harry Warden. I know that his name also isn't actually Harry Warden. I know that he's the miner, but yeah. So let's see here. We got the Xenomorph, one of many. We got Ghostface, that's the cloth Ghostface, as well as Billy, Victor Crowley, the miner, Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. We got Jason's mom. We got Laurie Strode from Part 2. We got basically every Jason that NECA has released. There's the Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Nightmare Jason from Part 5, Roy Burns, little Jack Torrance. We got Part 7 Jason, that's definitely my favorite design. I know it's cliche, but it's just the best. The remake Jason, we got Freddy versus Jason with the teddy bear. I love the look of that one. Let me just kind of get a universal focus, and there we go. Yeah, I love the look of the Freddy versus Jason one, especially with the teddy bear. I've always thought that was kind of cool. Okay, what else we got here? Here's kind of where all the ashes are. There's a Toonie Terrors ash. We got this is kind of a Deadite ash made out of the Evil Dead 2 Ultimate ash. There's Hero ash with a chainsaw. I've got 2 of them. This is kind of like the older one. This is the newer one. There's a Survivor ash. Back there we've got Captain Kirk, as well as Jean-Luc Picard. We've got Rambo. We've got Old Man Ash, RoboCop, Green Lantern. He's a NECA figure, so that's why he's here, not with the other superhero guys. And then we got McCready from The Thing. We got Annabelle. We got a ape warrior, gorilla guard or whatever from Planet of the Apes. I love that first movie. Never got to see the second ones, or the sequels. I know there's like 5 of them. I really need to. We got Otis and Captain Spaulding from Devil's Rejects. I wish I had more of the figures from House of a Thousand Corpses, because those I think Devil's Rejects is the better movie, but I like the designs of the characters from House a lot better, especially Captain Spaulding. I would love to have a NECA Ultimate Captain Spaulding, as well as I would love to have a NECA Ultimate Jigsaw Killer with the Billy the Puppet. I got that guy loose, and like he's just been in shit shape forever. We got the Gillman creature from Shape of Water with his little plate of eggs. There's an alien egg. We got David Cronenberg from fucking Nightbreed. We got the Nun. Pennywise is a cloth figure, and there's the Candyman. And then there's the Creep from Creepshow, as well as the Deerhead from Evil Dead 2. Up here, we got kind of the Ninja Turtles selection. There's Shredder, Toka and Razar, Splinter, Casey, Raph in disguise. There's a vintage Michelangelo, as well as we do have the other vintage guys in box. And I have a vintage loose Leonardo hanging around as well. Yeah, Toka and Razar are really cool, and then I got the Super Shredder and the normal Shredder. And there's another Shredder too, hanging around somewhere, loose, because I got Shredder loose, and then I got a 2-pack with Splinter and Shredder, so I just have 2 Shredders now. Here we got Pumpkinhead. This is a 4 Horsemen Krampus figure, which I thought was just so sick, I needed to have him. Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Avenger is another Xenomorph. There's kind of all the pinheads, or like all the Cenobites. There's a Toonie Terrors Cenobite. But then it's also some Tortured Souls figures. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but they're sick. A bunch of Freddies. Part 3 Leatherface, as well as a Part 1 Leatherface. Who's that there? That's the Blair Witch, actually. Can't really get a good look at her, but she's back there. And then we got the Crooked Man. This is Freddy's dogs. Crooked Man's little box. See, it's a bunch of just random shit laying around that needs to be more organized. Going on here, this is kind of the superhero shelf, sort of. But we got, that is Muckman from Ninja Turtles. There's NECA Batman, Peacemaker, Harley Quinn, Spawn, and Swamp Thing, 2 of my favorite characters. As well as Dr. Fate. We got Polka Dot Man, we got the Joker, we got Superman, we got Batman from Arkham Asylum, Thomas Wayne Batman, Armored Batman, John Stewart Green Lantern, Bloodsport. We got Dirtbag and Ground Chuck. We got all 4 of the boys here, as well as this is actually a bootleg, but it was such a good bootleg. It's actually of the Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtle comics, but painted with the color corrected headband from like the cartoons. And I collect Michelangelos because he's my favorite turtle, and so I just needed to have at least one variation of that Michelangelo, and if I'm gonna have it, he might as well have the orange headband. Here's the Power Rangers selection. I used to have it pretty uniform, but now I just kind of made it into this sort of like what you can see here as this really kind of cool setup where I've got everyone in kind of a pose, but I used to have them all kind of sorted, like good guys on one side, bad guys on the other. It was very cool, and I was very proud of it, but I also like it the way I have it now. We got Alpha, we got Mighty Morphin, let's see, Beast Morphers, SPD, In Space, Lost Galaxy, not Jungle Fury, Dino Thunder, more SPD, more Mighty Morphin. There's Zeo Red, there's Mighty Morphin Pink, Lord Zed, there's a Tengu Warrior, as well as old Billy Blue back there. We got Astronema. I have every single Mighty Morphin character of the Rangers. I've got the White Ranger, the green one, the black one. Here's Zack, you know. And then there's also, I've got quite a few of the SPD guys. I try to get as many of these as I can. Lord Draken, Goldar, Sphinx. I just got the Pumpkin Rapper too, and he's somewhere to be found. I don't know where he is, but he's around, and he'll go on this shelf eventually. Lord Zed, obviously. Here's kind of G.I. Joe. I cleared off some space because I want to... Here's a Living Dead doll. I want to add to it... I want to get more G.I. Joe. These are all G.I. Joe classified. And I've got Cobra on one side and G.I. Joe on the other, as well as a G1 Optimus Prime. And a random Goldar, because I've got 2 Goldars. But I need to add to that. So there's not this space here, but I was planning on a bunch of new guys showing up, so I cleared off space and they just haven't arrived yet. Also, I have these badass McFarlane, or these are Mezco actually, dolls of Jason and Leatherface that I've had forever that have just been so fucking cool. Castle Grayskull, this is the modern Castle Grayskull. I'm a big He-Man fan. I've got this poster, I've got that poster up there. We'll get into them in a second. Here's kind of a potpourri shelf. There's some Living Dead dolls, as well as some He-Mans. This is my G.I. Joe I had when I was a kid, as well as a G1 Hot Rod. I love him so much. Hot Rod's my favorite Transformer. As well as a Sharkticon. I've always thought they were really cool. And there's a Bub-Bomb. See, it's just kind of like a bunch of kind of random stuff. A lot of them are either vintage toys or toys that mean something to me on an emotional level. Like these Baraki Bionicles. That blue one is Takedox, and I had him. He was my first Bionicle as a kid. Or at least the first one that I had that I didn't, like, you know, lose all the pieces to. Like I actually had put together and played with. So I count him as my first. But my first would have been somebody from the first wave of those. But I have him, and he's actually a replacement buy. I had to track him down. I even have his canisters over there for him and the red one here, which I believe his name is like, it's something with an E. I forget it. This is Cariper, I think. Is it Elic? And I can't remember his name. There's a Godzilla. And then this praying mantis transformer was actually a gift from a job I worked. That I was leaving that job, and they were sad I was leaving, so I got that, and that meant the world to me that they gave me that. And then I got Jules from Pulp Fiction, some Transformers. There's Barricade, he's another one of my favorites, and obviously Megatron. Buzz-Off is one of my favorite He-Man characters, in addition to He-Man himself, and Skeletor, who gets his own shrine because he's my absolute favorite. But yeah, that's kind of just a random shelf, just kind of full of random stuff that all kind of means something to me in some way. Here we've got my Star Wars Black Series. I am friends with a guy, Sean Norris from Zomleader Studios, who keeps all his in box. And his collection puts mine to shame. I used to think I had a pretty good collection, but I really don't. And it's a bummer. But, you know, I've got the hits. I got Commander Cody. I've got Aura Singh. I've got Ahsoka. I've got Boba. There's some Stormtroopers. Han, Dengar, Count Dooku. Got a Wampa. Got a Yoda. Got General Grievous. Darth Maul. You know, all the bangers. All the ones you need to have. I got a Greedo. Jar Jar, Anakin, Kylo Ren, Bosk, Cad fucking Bane, you know. But then you see someone else's collection and you're just like, oh, I guess I'm just dirt. But I have all this other shit, so maybe it evens out. This shelf is kind of where I keep all the Marvel stuff, but some other stuff trickles in, some other kind of random super stuff. Like I said, there's this kind of miniature Ghostbusters section where I got a Ghostbusters of Michelangelo, I got a Stay Puft, I got the, what are these? Plasma series? Fuck, I used to know action figure terms like the inside of my asshole, but now I've forgotten everything. A bunch of Wolverines. You know, I would never say he's my favorite X-Man, but I have so many Wolverines, he might as well be my favorite X-Man. This isn't even all my Wolverines. There's only 3 here. I believe I have like 5 of these motherfuckers running around, like in various, you know, different forms. But my favorite Marvel character is the Punisher and then the Fantastic Four. I've got a bunch of in-box Fantastic Fours right there of the vintage ones, as well as I'm collecting the kind of modern retro carded ones up there. I would like to get the whole set of them, and I've got some Doctor Dooms and stuff running around. But the Fantastic Four is probably my favorite Marvel comic, but it'd be like dead fucking tied with the Punisher. So I've got 3 different Punishers. I've got him on the motorcycle, a retro carded Punisher, as well as the I call this the Punisher Born Punisher, but that's not really what he looks like in that story, but it's just him with like the war paint and stuff, so it kind of reminds me of that story. And then there's a Lex Luthor. Captain Marvel is another one of my favorite Marvel characters. I've got a Captain Marvel poster by my office desk. She's one of my favorites. There's a Spider-Man and a Black Panther, just kind of ones I felt like I needed to have. Mysterio is definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, so I felt like I needed to have him. And this Hulk is actually my girlfriend's. We have several other Hulks, but she loves the Hulk, so that's what those are. It's Battle Cats. This is a Brundlefly from the movie The Fly. So yeah, that's kind of a brief overview. Not very brief, but it's definitely an overview. So let's turn our light off real quick. Okay, so we're gonna kind of do a tour of just sort of the rest of the room now. Kind of see what's shaking. We got this exquisitely evil Bond movie poster, and it's got like a bunch of Bond villains, I believe up until Casino Royale. It cuts off there. What's irritating about it is that the villains' names are above the character. So for instance, we got Malaka, and it's like there's a space. Wouldn't it seem like this would be his name? But no, that's Alec Trevelyan from GoldenEye. You know, and that's Xenia Onatopp, also from GoldenEye. Also, they're not in order. Because, see, here's Auric Goldfinger from Goldfinger, and then there's GoldenEye. And you're like, oh, well, maybe they're, you know, putting the same movies together. Then why the fuck is Oddjob spaced out between there? He's also from the same movie as Auric. and like Stamper comes after Goldeneye because he was in Tomorrow Never Dies. This poster has a lot of things wrong with it, but how many people do you know that have like a James Bond villain themed poster? I just thought that was really cool. It's 50 years of Bond villains. I think it goes to Casino Royale. No, it doesn't, because there's Dominic Green and he was the bad guy in Quantum of Solace. Okay, I don't know when it goes. It could possibly, and the villains aren't even in alphabetical order. Like, what order did they decide on to put them in that order? It makes no fucking sense, because it starts with Colonel Moon from Die Another Day all the way to Thumper, you know? Cool poster, shitty design, you know, cool idea and concept. We got this awesome, this was a gift from my friend Bo, and it's a Universal Monsters Frankenstein with the windmill on fire, like at the end of the movie. Also, I Guy and a Shy Guy, as well as some Legos that are my girlfriend's. There's a Grimlock. See, this shit is, there's no fucking order to this at all. It's just random garbage. Oh my god, this thing takes way too long. You done? Okay. Yeah, we got the Fantastic Four, we got Human Torch, The Thing, Mr. Fantastic, we got Mole Man, and we got the Silver Surfer, and then we got the retro-carded Marvel Legends ones. Missing that Invisible Woman, which irritates me every day. We got these awesome posters. This, I believe, was the Japanese poster for Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they like made him giant to go like to bill it as like a kaiju movie, even though it wasn't that. That could also just be a unique kind of like fan design, but every time someone comes in that knows nothing about the Creature from the Black Lagoon or Godzilla, I tell them the story of like, well, in Japan they made him big because they just, you know, Godzilla, but he wasn't actually big in the movie. Isn't that crazy? And they're like, wow, that is crazy, and it's probably a lie, you know. We got Dracula, just kind of a generic Dracula poster, but I do have a Bela Lugosi Dracula poster here. But here's my actual desk setup that you see in so many videos. I've got this little cat. I've always wanted one of these with the little hand. I just have always loved those things. And I think I even explained how I got that in the commentary track for Toolbox Killer. This is Doctor Strange's Sinister Sanctum. His Sanctum Sanctorum. There's a John Wayne Gacy painting, as well as a Lost Boys poster. These are inserts that go into the packaging for NECA cloth figures, and I just think the art is so gorgeous on these. I'm like, I had to fucking keep these. Look at these fucking things. End of the Day, Hatchet, this Ghostface, Reanimator, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, Halloween 2, The Fog, New Nightmare, Nightbreed, Friday the 13th Part 3, and I think I even have a couple more of them floating around. But they were so cool, I'm like, I just need to have one of those. I do have one Monster High doll. I wish I had way more. I love those dolls. And I know that they just re-released a bunch of like of the retro ones. I fucking want them so bad. I've always wanted those, and when they came out, it's kind of one of those things where I would not dare ask for them for fear of, like, you know, I was a boy and I was in a situation where my parents wouldn't buy me something like that. It just was not on the table. So I would just gawk at them and I'm like, man, I really want that doll, and I never got it. This is a sick poster. It's like an alien ripping through a doorway. I don't know what it was advertising, or maybe it was like just a poster for aliens, but I've always thought it was rad because like it looks like your doorway, you know. We got a Kylo Ren poster. I just wanted it, I guess. These are really cool. This is actually an artist, I believe, based in Des Moines, that does these posters, and she does them for like all kinds of things. Let me see if I can get the name to actually give credit. Aunt Lucia. But she's done posters for all sorts of things in kind of this like sort of bombshell, like 1930s sort of art style. And I had to get those and put them like that because I just thought they looked so cool together like that. Jason Takes Manhattan poster. Not my favorite Friday the 13th movie. I mean, I do really like it, but I love the poster even more than I love the movie itself. I mean, that poster is sick. The only poster that'd be cooler than it is the I Heart New York poster where he's cutting through it. But I think the other coolest Friday the 13th poster would be probably the final chapter with the knife going through it. I would love to have that poster. Or just the original one, just because it's so classic looking. Over here, there's a bunch of Optimus Primes. There's Optimus Primal even. There's the movie Optimus. There's the Studio Series Optimus. There's Generations Optimus. There's Cybertron Optimus. There's also a flocked Panther. There's some boxes of other guys. There's the Mummy. There's Halloween Kills. There's Frankenstein. There's Evil Dead 2. Halloween 2. That's what the fuck is her name? Female Transformer. Damn it, I can't remember her fucking name. Some other kind of cool memorabilia. This is for you ancient fans. Like, I'm talking ancient fans of my channel. This is the Evil Dead chainsaw hand that I made. I'll actually put it on. See, there's this handle in there. It goes like this. Hooks onto your hand. I've always wanted to get a bike chain to put on it and also to redo the handle because it's been scraped so many times. But I used this in so many videos as a kid. And yeah, and it's like it's been shipped. And a fun fact about this chainsaw hand. This is like a plank of wood in here. And at the end here, there's so much scuffing. I'm gonna try and get it in focus. Doing this with one hand is kind of tricky. So there's so much scuffing on the end here. That piece right there, somewhere on here, I normally be able to find it, there is real blood from when I actually clocked somebody with this. For real, as an accident. And yeah, but it normally just kind of sits back there. Hangs out with my girlfriend's Lego windmill. But yeah, just kind of chills right there. We'll give a brief look into the closet. Not that there's much to see. So yeah, there's this tote that's just full of wrestlers, and there's the wrestling ring. It normally only comes out when we got kids over, because I've got nieces and nephews and all sorts of stuff, and I entertain kids a lot, so we have a tub of just kids' toys. But a lot of those toys are also mine. There's some He-Man toys at the bottom in there. Just kind of stuff that I didn't really think was display worthy. There's an X-Wing. This used to be the storage for all of the Dante Graves stuff, but now it's like decorations. But there is some Dante Graves stuff up here. There's a fog machine, and then these suitcases have costumes and stuff that I kind of need around. There's a Land Shark, there's Hot Wheels. These boxes are full of VHS tapes. And then, yeah, just kind of, it used to be storage, but then I got a storage locker, and that's where most of that stuff went. But see, totes, this tote, these boxes, this box, and then those boxes are all action figures as well as this tote down here. But see, it's just not even worth bringing out. And then here is the Eileen doll from the Annabelle review. So yeah, and there's the Castle Grayskull wrestling ring even. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I've got this Aquaman, kind of, it's like a steel tin my girlfriend gave me because Aquaman's one of my favorites. As well as a Sam from Trick or Treat cloth figure. I have so many Sams running around. I've got that little one right there. This kind of was like a Halloween corner. But then on my desk, I've got, you know, Loomis and Michael. And then there's a Godzilla and stuff. But there was several other Michael Myers toys that are just kind of running around. This is the calendar that I put all the Dante Graves dates on. It's currently empty right now because I was just about to redo it. And then here is just a bunch of other kind of random shit. This here is actually a piggy bank. There's coins inside of him. And there's a legendary Goji. There's a Hollywood Hulk Hogan back there. That's a sick Mighty Morphin Power Rangers playset with a Zordon head. That's actually like 3D like in there. I also have a Robin piggy bank. This tank that my buddy Alan and I used to play with as kids. And this is my kind of favorite Godzilla. This one I had for so long. Oh shit. I've had him for so long that it was back when you'd like write your name on a toy. So you can kind of see my initials faintly there. It says DG. This was like my favorite toy as a kid. Yeah, see, there's this fucking monstrosity. This is all accessories. Every motherfucker on that shelf. Constantly gets moved around. This giant red brick is all my girlfriend's spare Legos. There's a Wolfman box. There's another big Godzilla. There's a Mystery Machine. There's Bluto to go with the Popeye that's up there. I also have Wimpy and Olive Oil. And I think I even have a Sweet Pea somewhere. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's other random boxes, but like at this point I'm just showing you random bullshit. I've got this. Goosebumps Book Accurate Slappy. All of your other collections aren't really complete because you guys don't have that, do you? I didn't think so.